So here we are. Character creation. I'll choose male. No issues with being a female, but it'd be hard for me to roleplay. And the race, we have 6 races. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common race in the Deerwood, the Edir Empire, Old Valia, and the Valian Republics, though not as large as the towering Aumaua. Humans are known for their strength and willpower. Okay, then we have bonuses on resolve and might. We can mouse over. Deerwood, a colonial nation founded by settlers from the Edir Empire. Following a series of conflicts with Edir, the territory became independent in 2672 AI and is now ruled by a duke who is elected by 7 earls that oversee its earldoms. Okay. And the Valian Republics, a mercantile power and former colony of a larger, more ancient nation, the Old Valia. The republics lie to the south of Deerwood and Air Glanfath, okay, and are ruled by a duke elected by the Consuaglia Asigia, a council of 14 dukes, including its 5 most prominent, the Duke's Bells. Okay. Alright, so okay, for these attributes, we'll skip them. If you want to read them, just pause the video. Okay, next we have Aumaua. Aumaua. Okay, okay. Nice, okay. Aumaua. The mighty Aumaua are the largest of the Keith races. Okay, and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rawatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense to have a bonus on might. And we have the dwarf. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the Deerwood, the Valian Republics, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. Bonuses on might and constitution, and minus dexterity. Okay. Elf. Elves are the dominant race in Air Glanfath, and the white that wends, and are extremely common in the Deerwood and Edir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist nature. Okay. Air Glanfath, a territory comprised of the forest southeast of the Bale River, populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes collectively known as Glanfathans, and governed by the council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Okay, Air Glanfath is home to a large number of ruined Engwitan sites, which Glanfathans hold sacred. The ruins have been at the center of a number of large-scale conflicts with their wooden colonies, whose settlements often encroach on Glanfathan territory and who frequently seek to plunder the ruins for their relics. Okay. It would be nice to see a world map to see all these places, countries, or continents. Deerwood, a colonial nation. Okay, we've read that already. Elf bonuses on dexterity and perception. Now we have Orlan. Okay, Orlans are the smallest of the Keith races. Keith. Okay, what are those? What are kids? Okay, anyway. Though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlans are commonly found here. Okay, gonna need to look that up. Are commonly found in air gland fat, the exmaterial plains, and parts of the deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. So bonuses on resolve and perception, and minus on might. Air gland fat. Okay. All right. Godlike. Ooh, nice. Ooh. Okay, godlike. The godlike are children of the Keith. Oh, okay. So Keith are civilized races who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. Okay. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. They have bonuses on dex and intellect. Okay, and they actually appear to have masks. Okay, anyway, I actually have a rough idea of what we're going to be in this playthrough. I'm going to play an Orlan. Yeah, Orlan. Okay. Then we have a sub race. We have Wild and Hearth Orlan. Hearth Orlan. Okay. Wild Orlan. Wild Orlans are the original Orlans who lived in the deepest forests and jungles between the tropics. While they have only been significantly separated from Hearth Orlans for 1,000 years, a few genetic differences have appeared rapidly, most notably a lack of facial hair in the Hearth Orlan branch. Wild Orlans are common in the deep reaches of Irglanfath. Unlike their Hearth Orlan brethren, they are not often seen in the Deerwood, Ridseras, or the Valian Republics. Defiant Resolve. So what that is? This is like a racial ability. Defiant Resolve. After being subjected to a will attack, Wild Orlans temporarily gain a bonus to all defenses. Deerwood, Erglafat, Red Ceras. Deerwood's neighbor to the north. Okay. Red Ceras is a nation firmly rooted in its Eothasian faith, a fervor that took hold during the events of the Saints' War and remains even after the apparent death of Eothas. Okay, so apparently Eothas led a rebellion? Was it? Okay. And then, okay, Valiant, read that already. Okay. Hearth Orlan. Okay, the Hearth Orlans are often found as slaves in Red Ceres and the Valian Republics. One of the treaty terms between the Deerwood and the people of Erglanfath was the liberation of Orlan slaves. And while this has been honored, many Hearth Orlans continue to live in the Deerwood as indentured servants. Minor threat. When attacking any target that is also being targeted by a teammate, Hearth Orlans convert some of their hits into crits. Alright, okay. So, we'll take Hearth Orlan. Will be Hearth Orlan. Next. Class. So there are like, what's this, 11? 2, 4. Yeah, 11 classes. Okay, there will be a lot of reading. Okay, Barbarian. Okay, cool. Brutes, Madmen, Berserkers. Though city-dwelling people often use the term barbarian with a dose of disrespect, these rural warriors are respected by their communities for their ferocity and fearsome presence on the battlefield. Barbarians have a special, almost religious role in some cultures, but in many places, the undisciplined, fearless style of the barbarian is simply how warriors conduct themselves. Okay. Abilities, we have Carnage. When barbarians hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks at all other enemies within a short distance. Oh, okay. It's like a bleeding effect, sort of. The damage bleeds from the target to the other enemies. Okay. So, athletics and survival. Okay. Deflection. So, deflection. Deflection is the defense used to resist direct melee range attacks. Okay, so I'm going to read about this off the record, off cam. Okay. Next class we have the Chanter. In every culture across Eora, so is Eora the continent or the world? Could be the planet or the world, right? So there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they are just a time-honored part of local folk traditions. So, are there like bards? Bards from D&D. Starting abilities, phrases, and chants. So, all chants can continuously speak. Oh, all chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and help build a chanter's power until they can use an invocation. Okay, invocations, powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they have spoken a required number of phrases through their chants. So what, the phrases and chants are like the mana? And they need those to use invocation. Interesting. Okay. Bonus on lore and mechanics. Oh. Okay. Next. Cipher. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach, ciphers were once called Brishalgwin. 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 Okay. Or Mind Hunters by the Glanfathans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as a focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Makes sense. Starting ability. Powers. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cause focus, which ciphers build through the use of their soul whip. Okay. Bonus on stealth, lore, and mechanics. Okay. Interesting. Druid. Animist at heart. Druids tap into the spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of the Eora, plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. Well, okay, like a golem. While not necessarily religious, Druids do have a reverence for the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, Druids are understood as a sort of primal magician, but among the Glanfathans, Nasitaki, and many rural cultures, they may have high positions of influence and authority. Okay. Starting abilities, we have Spirit Shift and spells. So, Spirit Shift, all Druids have mastered one animalistic form. These forms give the druid strong melee abilities and grant an additional power while the druid is shifted. Okay. Spells. Druids have access to a variety of offensive and some support-oriented spells. So every 2 levels, druids automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. As druids gain power, their weaker spells eventually shift to per encounter use. So they have access to a variety of select priests and mages, right? So, interesting. Do they like share like a spell pool or list? Anyway, bonus on lore and survival. Then we have the fighter. Fighters form the front line of disciplined armies across their eastern reach. Though they are most commonly found in cultures with an organized martial structure, fighters can also be encountered as wandering mercenaries, bodyguards, and other types of sellswords. The common element that unifies fighters is their heavy focus on endurance and melee defense. Okay. Whoop. Endurance. Okay. Ability, constant recovery. Fighters continually regenerate endurance at a modest rate during combat. Ethics, lore, and survival. What's a survival? Survival allows characters to choose from a variety of long-term bonuses each time they camp. Oh, so they can choose. Oh. Okay. So, do we need to invest in survival? Anyway, monk. Monks belong to a variety of fighting orders that have sprung up in Ixmatil and the Eastern Reach over the past few centuries. While many monastic orders can trace their teachings to the enduring founder Chalatak, okay, individual organizations vary greatly in their focus, morality, and ethics. Common folk respect the incredible discipline of monks but see them as an odd, unpredictable bunch who may not be entirely sane. Even mercenaries and other adventurers aren't sure what to make of them. Okay. Abilities: Transcendent Suffering and Wounds. When Transcendent Suffering, when monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue to increase in damage as they gain levels. Wounds: as monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monk's special abilities. Okay. Stealth, athletics, and survival. Okay, Paladin. Paladins are martial zealots, devoted to a god, a ruler, or even a way of life. They can be found in any culture where a fanatical group of like-minded individuals have formed a warrior society dedicated to advancing their cause. Among those aligned to their worldview, paladins are viewed with respect and admiration, if a bit of fear. Many paladins hold leadership positions in armies and mercenary companies, but in the heat of battle, their fanaticism often overrules the chain of command and common sense. Oh, okay. Starting ability, we have faith and conviction. Paladins have an inherent bonus to all of their defenses. Okay. Let's check. There are 4 defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. Okay, I'm going to read about this later. Okay. Maybe we'll get to know it as we play. Okay, moving on. Reputations. Reputations, the paladin gains relative to the behaviors that are preferred. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on the reputations. The paladin gains relative to the behaviors that are preferred by his or her order. Bonus athletics and lore. Priest. Priest. Priests are devotees of Yora's deities and practitioners of religious magic. Okay. While all priests dedicate themselves to specific gods, priests' power is actually derived from their personal beliefs. In contrast to most paladins, priests tend to focus on philosophy, teaching, and the relationship of religious organizations with common folk. The reception of priests in any given part of the world depends largely on how their god is revered or reviled by the people who live there. The reception, okay. Abilities, we have Holy Radiance, and of course, spells. Yeah, Holy Radiance generates a modest amount of endurance for allies around the priest. Oh, any enemy vessels caught in the area take burn damage and may be frightened. Over the course of the game, the power of this ability may shift based on the reputations the priest gained relative to the behaviors that are preferred by his or her deity. Is this like a passive ability? Okay, spells. So, priests have access to a variety of supports and some offensive. Okay, much like the druids, right? Every 2 levels, priests automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells, okay, limited number per rest. Gonna be per counter use. Okay, athletics, and lore. Next up, Ranger. Ooh, Rangers are warriors of the woodlands and masters of the hunt. Always partnered with soul-bonded animal companions, they can be found in wild spaces all over the world. As their lifestyles often tend toward independence and isolation, it is rare for rangers to become an integral part of a large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides. Like Drizzt, or Drizzt, Duorden. Okay. Starting ability, Animal Companion. All rangers share a strong bond with an animal companion. The companion fights at the ranger's command and is extremely valuable for its ability to run interference. Animal companions don't do much damage, but they have high damage reduction. The link between the ranger and companion is powerful. If one goes down in battle, the other suffers as well. Okay, stealth and survival. Next up, we have Rogue. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark back alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Okay. Though unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops or as part of a surprise assault. Their withering attacks are breaking enemy ranks and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. Starting ability, Sneak Attack. Alright. Applies bonus damage to the rogue's ranged and melee weapon attacks when the target has any of the following afflictions. When the target is flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, stunned, or weakened. It also applies to any target the rogue strikes with a weapon within the first 2 seconds of combat. Stealth and mechanics. Ooh, rogues. Interesting. The Wizard. Ooh, cool. Wizard, the masters of academic magic. Wizards are students of arcane traditions that stretch back beyond the boundaries of recorded history. Wizards are a highly organized group, often forming academies or guilds devoted to research and development in magical studies, and tend to favor environments where inquiry, experimentation, debate, and dissemination of knowledge are encouraged. Many accomplished wizards eventually become known for their eccentricity, their egos, and their unquenchable interests in all things arcane and occult. abilities. We have the Arcane Assault and spells. Yeah. Okay, Arcane Assault, mid-range attack that hits a small area for raw damage and can leave targets dazed. Spells. Wizards have access to a variety of offensive and personal defensive spells. Unlike priests and druids, wizards learn individual spells that they store in and cast directly from their grimoires. Grimoires can only hold 4 spells of each spell level, which motivates wizards to keep multiple grimoires for different needs. Every 2 levels, wizards gain access to an additional set of spells. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access each time they advance. Okay. Now wizards also have the option of learning spells from grimoires they find or buy. Initially, their spells can be cast limited number of times, like the priest and druid, and eventually per encounter. Yes. Bonuses, lore and mechanics. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I already have like a rough picture of who or what will be in this playthrough. Will be a Hearth Orlan cipher. Okay, will be a cipher. Right, cipher. So I actually what I found out about the cipher. The one I picture was the Templars from the XCOM series. Yeah, so we attack to gain focus, and then we use that focus to release devastating powers. Anyway, moving on. Next. Powers. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which ciphers build through the use of their soul whip. So we can choose 2. The pathetic field. I actually tried some of this. So I tried antipathetic field. It says here that it creates a toxic physical manifestation of mutual antipathy between the cipher and the enemy target. Enemies caught in the path between the two will suffer corrosive damage. This is actually confusing because when I tried it, it has this like a friendly fire and it damaged my companion. So yeah, effects just beam. Well, it did not say anything about friendly fire, but when I tried it, yeah, so it's confusing. And then we have Eye Strike. Shocks an enemy's visual receptors, dazing and blinding them as well as blinding nearby targets. Excuse me. Effects: target blinded for 10 seconds, dazed for 10 seconds. Accuracy plus 10. So it has an AoE. So it says foe AoE. So I assume this will only affect foes, right? Enemies. Okay, blinded, so they will be blinded. Speed is average. Blinding nearby targets. Seems nice. Then we have Mind Wave. The Mind Wave target becomes the object of a concussive blast of psychic energy, suffering raw damage from the trauma. Characters in conical area behind the target failing a fortitude check are knocked prone. Characters, so it includes my party members. So foe AoE. So the target and then foe AoE. Okay. Prone for 3 seconds. Oh, this is nice actually. So raw damage and then AoE prone. It's a cone in a cone. Okay. Okay. Let's read the others. But I think I'll get Mind Wave. Soul Shock. Briefly transforms the outer shell of an allied target's soul into energy, releasing an electrical burst around them. Characters standing in the area around the target take shock damage. Characters. So, it's just foe AoE. It says here, foe, right? So, enemies will get shocked. And it's average. 10 focus, 10 average. Seems nice. Tenuous Grasp assails the target's grasp on reality, frightening and confusing them. Okay. Foe target, so just one. And then Whisper of Treason imparts bedeviling secret to an enemy that causes its allegiance to bend, charming them. One target, then charm for 10 seconds. Okay, so let's get Mind Wave. 8 meters. It's fast. And is it Soul Shock? So average Soul Shock. How about antipathetic? I actually like antipathetic field when I tried it. So we just need to position ourselves, right? Because even though it says here enemies, it will also affect the party members. Nah, let's go for Soul Shock. So, by the way, we will be playing range. So, yeah, 6 meters average. Yeah, let's go with this. Mind Wave and Soul Shock. Okay. Ooh, attributes. Attributes define a character's basic mental and physical strengths and weaknesses. They modify many gameplay statistics and are often used to unlock options in conversations. Character creation allows you to choose which attributes your character will emphasize, but spells and items can further modify. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so we have Might represents a character's physical and spiritual strength. So this is gonna be the damage. I think we're going to need this. Oh, it's actually recommended for cipher and dex abstraction. So this is like attack speed. So like how many times we attack, right? This will be life, our health. Okay. Perception is accuracy. Okay, then intellect. Intellect. Okay. Intellect. Represents character's logic and reasoning abilities. Oh, it's highly recommended for cipher. It's area of effect and duration and will. Okay. And resolve. Reflects the character's internal. Okay. Concentration. So, well, as much as I want to min max, I think it's better for our first playthrough to uh, be able to pass checks, right? Um, okay. Well, we definitely need intellect. So let's take this as high as we can. Yeah, let's see. I think we can choose might, the damage. There. Maybe I think we don't need a lot of constitution. Right? So let's bring this down. This will be farther back. Right, so then dex. We need dex. We can attack more often. Okay, say 14. I know, let's make this 13. We'll be choosing dead fire later, so it will add dexterity, I think. Perception. Oh wait, let's see how high we can go with this one. 8. Let's go 16. Oh, let's subtract 1 intellect and add perception for accuracy. Okay. So I think this is okay. So resolve. So we can like pass resolve check. So if we need more, we can just use equipments, right? And then intellect, perception. Yeah. Let's go with this. Oh, culture. Well, we will choose dead fire because we're going to import our character when we play Pillars of Eternity Dead Fire PoE 2. So Adir. The Adir Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It's Eora, right? So it is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, Greater Idir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven nations. So +1 resolve. So for Deadfire, so consisting of the nation of Nasitak, dozens of Aumawa settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea, Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Aumawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. So for Deadfire, so Dex 1. So we're going to have additional Dex here. Okay. But let's go through the other cultures. Examital Plains, located to the northeast of Irglanfath. The Examital Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas and are extensively farmed by human and Orland residents. The Examital culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. +1 on resolve. And then we have Old Valia, once the crown jewel of the southern seas. Old Valia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the old Valian countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Intellect. Dual wield. Okay. Rawachai. Dominated by the Aumawa nation of Rawachai, the Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Aumawa, Orlan, and Dwarven. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Makes sense for them to have like constitution bonus. The Living Lands. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plants and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Okay, so might. Then we have the White That Wends. A large cracked southern expanse of polar ice, the White That Wends is home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. Perception. Okay. So we'll choose Deadfire Archipelago. That's our culture for the decks, the +1 decks. So this will be our attributes: 14, 6, 14, 16, 16, 12. For it's good enough for our first playthrough. Okay, next is background. Okay, aristocrat. You've lived your life amongst the nobility. Your days have been marked by lavish meals and extravagant parties. Your conversations peppered with talk of pedigree and bloodline. So lore +2. So lore, we need lore for the scrolls, right? Okay, so explorer. You find the siren call of the horizon irresistible. You cannot help but wonder what lies beyond the next hill or wave, and you've built your life around finding out. Lore and survival. Laborer, your life has been spent in the study of your craft. You trained and prepared, hoping to hone your skills and ply your trade. Athletics and mechanics. Merchant. So for a merchant, you've traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds. So lore and mechanics. Lore and mechanics. Slave, you have never known freedom. Shackles and chains have bound your existence, and someone has told you what to do your entire life. Athletics and survival. I think we need survival, right? What's athletics? Adventuring is tiring work. Moral combat. So for the second wind. Oh, okay. So once per encounter. The drifter, you never quite fit in no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You are more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. We have stealth and mechanics. Stealth allows characters of any class avoid being seen. Okay. Okay, when you're scouting. Detected. Okay. Hunter, you live for the thrill of the chase. Whether for glory or for sustenance, you have made your living taking the lives of wild creatures, of stealth and survival. Then we have Mercenary. Blade and battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Yep, that solves everything, anything. Nope. So athletics and lore. Then we have the Raider. So lastly, we have the Raider. Okay, did I click it? Clicked it, right? Raider. Go. Yeah, you've spent your life on the wrong side of the law. What you want, you take, and what was theirs has a tendency to become yours. Okay, so still athletics. So I think what we need, go for merchant for lore. Although we will be focusing, we will mechanics skill, traps, and okay, but I want to be able to detect traps, and the more accurate the trap in conversations and scripted mechanics can be used to activate or disable a variety of machines. To open locks and disable. Okay. We will have like we'll try to like focus mechanics on a party member, but initially, while we don't have that party member, and I don't know who it is, but we'll sure to like have someone expert in mechanics, more or less. But for now, I think I'll choose merchant for the mechanics bonus. Okay. Remember if you have, I think Hearth Orland has a mechanic bonus. Orlands, yeah. And lore. Lore. We need lore for the scrolls, right? Or should we take survival and lore? Uh, hmm. Let's go for lore and mechanics. Yeah. So let's be a merchant. Next. Okay, I clicked it already, right? Oh, yeah, we're using a laptop. This is my personal laptop that I use for playing. Oops. Okay. Oh no. But actually, I tried recording already before last night, and I was actually going through the character creation, and then it crashed. So yeah, I'm doing this. This is my second recording. Anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time with the looks because well, we may have equipments that will cover our face, etc. That will render our efforts here moot. But let's make it as close as possible. So yeah, let's choose this guy, this portrait here. I actually have portraits that I downloaded, but let's stick with the defaults. I just to make our life easier, like so. Yep, we'll go for the default for this one. Looks nice. Stick with that kind of head. There are only 2, right? Ooh, no. The ears are like perky, based on the portrait. So it's like pointing up. Yeah, more or less. Something like that. And the hair. Yeah, I think I'm okay with the hair. We might be using helmets anyway, so. Oh no. Hmm. Does he resemble? No. Let's do 14. Yeah, let's do 14. Facial hair? Whoa. Like some sideburns. Ah. No. Yeah, let's just go through uh different facial hair and then just move on. I'm okay with the 14. That so no beard or mustache. No. Nope. Nope. We just need the sideburns. I think that's what they call that. Anyway, it's cool. It's choose the first one. No. Yeah, let's choose this one. And then hair is fine. Stick with this. Alright. It's cool. Let's do this. Next. Excuse me. Okay. For the voice, I went through this already. I think stoic is
Follow me.
nice. I mean, a bit low, but nice. I think.
Let's go.
Oof. Oof. Okay. Stoic. Alright. So I actually searched, like, I think Welsh names. So we have, I think this is Gwron Nye. Yeah. So I think Gwron means hero or mighty, something like that. And then Nye is like to totally oh totally is it golden? Yeah, or truly golden. Yeah. So it's like a golden hero, which acts, I think, like reflects like our skin tone. I think so. For like the golden hero. Gwron Nye. Okay. Accept. Okay. So this is our character. Gwron, our cipher Hearth Orlan, with these stats: 14, 6, 15, 16, 16, 12, and merchant. Okay, so I think this is it, and we're ready to start our adventure. Hopefully, we get to survive. Well, it's normal. We'll be playing on normal, so should be. I think we'll do just fine. So, uh, thank you. We'll see you on the first episode.